Hello, my name is Sean,
And my name is Brian.
and we're here to talk to you about how to do a dialog tree in Unity. This is going to be very simple, nothing very fancy. It's just going to pop up a dialog tree.
And we use the tutorial from LarsIsGaming to import a dialog tree to Unity. It's going to be similar. We'll provide a link in the description as well. And here is our demo.
Okay, so we're going to start up. If you watched our first video, it's going to have the same dialogue. It's going to say, hello, nice to meet you. Then you can click, nice to meet you. Then it's going to go through this. Then you say, I would like to talk about games. Mario, I have to go now. Okay, goodbye. Then it can exit. Now see, it's gone.
And if we look at the demo again, you can see that we still have the extension to what we had at the end of the first video. So if you go, hello, nice to meet you too. I would like to talk about games, Legends of Zelda. And it also has the Castlevania and Metroid questions as well. And exit. You can also see that the end conversation button down here, exit the conversation right away. So first off, what you need to do, if you want to use Visual Studios for your coding needs for Unity, you have to have this folder, the Unity VS, into your assets. And there's two ways to get it. One way is to go through Visual Studios. You go to New, Open, Project, and scroll down to Game. You should have an option here that says Install Visual VS or Unity VS, and that's one way to do it. The other way you can install that folder is if you go Google search Unity VS, and you can get a free version of it for Unity from this site, which is Build Unity Games with Visual Studio. So just download that, and then when you go into Unity, just right click on your assets folder, import new asset, and then find that folder. Now what that does is if you go to edit and you go to preferences, external tool, you can change from mono develop, which is the built-in coding for Unity, or you can do Visual Studio. Now if you select Visual Studio, what that does is if you click on one of your C programs here, which we imported from our previous project, it'll open up Visual Studio and you can work on it here. And just save the files and it'll be usable in Unity as well. Now, another thing you have to work on is the prefab. And what this is you can, when you make a canvas here, and you can create or add certain elements to it, like right here, a panel. You can create something like a prefab here. It has text dia node, if I can show that. Somehow, there it is. 3 option buttons and the end button. If we look at the demo again, the NPC name would be right here. We aren't showing it for this demonstration. The NPC dialog is right here. And your 3 options will show up down here. And your end conversation button would be right here. You set that up over here and display it the way you wish to do it. So the structure for when you move the dialogue or the prefab over can be a little strange, but you can move it around, move some of the elements the way you wish to have it. And once you're done, you drag it over the whole thing and drop it into your assets folder so you can have it for later. But in the meantime, we're going to delete this one because when we run the demo, it's going to have a clone of our prefab.
Okay, now if you watched our first video, most of the C# files are going to be the same. As you can see, the dialog's the same, the test dia is the same, and the dialog node's the same, the dialog option's the same. What's the only difference is this MCC dialog. What we're going to have to do is you're going to have the name class, have mono behavior, then you can have a private dialog dia. Then you have the game objects. This is the game window. This is going to be the text that's going to display. If we go, and this is going to be the options in the exit. If we go program, so we can see, run it again. Here is the text. Here's the options, and here is the other one. Oops. So those are the three options that display. And then we're gonna have to set, we're setting -2. Then this part, you can see we're just having string dialog data file path and game object dialog window prefab. Those are for this chatty MPC. Once the program starts, chatty MPC is gonna start, and it's gonna run script MPC dialog with the data file path it's gonna put in the test dia XML, and it's going to use the prefab from final dialog. So it's going to use this with our test dia XML, which is here. It's going to use that, load that in into this program. So that's where it's going to get these two paths. Then it's going to be the same. It's going to just, the load dialog is going to load that. Then the game object, we're going to find canvas. Then we're going to initiate the prefab here. And from there, we're going to transform the canvas, more options. So this is going to be, then this is where we're going to find. Here is where we're going to find the text dia. That is, if we go to prefab, that is this. So that is the same name as that. That is going to find that option and then going to be able to plug something into that. Here's just the test add. This is just for the button for the exit. Then this is going to set the window active to false. This makes sure that the window doesn't display if we have something else running. So when you set the active to false, it will not display. That is kind of just ending it. If you end it, it's gonna set to false. Now here, so this is the run dialog. We're gonna start coroutine run, which is this. And this is the set selection option. This is something new. This is going to set selected option to whatever X is. It's just a regular setter. Now, so we set to true. We have the node ID 0, so that's the same as before. We're just gonna have the first one. This is kind of the same where it's going to exit if it's -1. So this is the display node. This is a little bit different. Display node, dia node, this dia ID. You already know this. Then we're going to select option to 2. While this is 2, it's going to wait every 0.25 seconds to check this. So it's going to wait, then check again, wait and check again until this does not equal -2. Then it's going to make the node ID what you selected. So this closes the window, and then you go to dialog nodes. So this is going to set them all again to false to make sure they're off. And this is going to get the text for that component. Now here is going to be another loop where it sets the option. This is going to set the button. So this is going to go to set button for option 1. Then it's going to go whatever that option is. It's going to go through that for loop. And then while we're here, we got the game option button, which is the option 1, option 2, option 3. That's going in there. And here goes the text. This is what the text is going to be. Then we set the button active, so it is true. So if it only has 2 buttons here, this is still going to be false. If it only put this one will go, this one will go, this will be set true, and this one will be false. So that's why you gotta make sure to set them as false. So you don't have a button appear that you can't click, that won't do anything. And then we're gonna get the component, give component in child text. So we're going to get that text a button, and then we're going to set it to opt.tempText, and then we're going to get the component a button and add a listener. So this is going to listen if this is clicked. If it's clicked, it's going to get this, it's going to set selection option to the destination ID. So whatever is here, this got in here from here will be put into that button. So that means if this is clicked, if this button is clicked, whatever button, this 1, 2, 3, or how many buttons you have is clicked, it will set that option and it will go to that. This is just a simple update. And here's the loader. It's the exact same thing. So I'm just going to demo it one more time to maybe show you a bit more. So you can see it here. What it's doing is it's going to grab the text wherever it is. It's going to set it for the nodes. This is for the buttons. It's going to set the first one, option 1, this one, with the text, whatever that one. It's going to set with the text of that one and the destination ID with that one. So it's going to have the listener have that in it to see if that is clicked. So we clicked it and we go through. So that's the basics of it.
So now I'm going to show you how to import your assets from Visual Studios if you worked on the previous video or using the previous video. So what you do is you go to you exit this and you go to your assets folder right here. Now you right click and you do import new asset. And then what you do is you search for your Visual Studio project. So it's probably going to be in Visual Studio, whichever version you're using. You open it, you go to projects, dialog tree, and then you just import each one of these. For this program though, we do not use program.cs. We create a new one in Visual Studios, but you want to import these 3 definitely. Then you go to bin, debug, and you import your test.xml. Once you have those 4, you're ready to begin to start programming your dialog tree in Unity. If you look at the code within MPC dialog, just double click that. Make sure your path is correct for getting your XMLs and your assets. So it's going to be in the assets folder.